Hey, what's up everybody? This is Ty from Ty Hot Takes coming at you with a nice old cup of meh coffee. And I'll tell you who's feeling pretty meh today. Player First Games, as of this morning, just announced that MultiVersus will be discontinuing its online services as of May 30th at about 9 a.m. So if you want to get in an online game of MultiVersus with your buddies, you will only be able to do so before May 30th. So after May 30th, there will be an offline mode available for anyone that needs to get their MultiVersus fix, but yeah, no more online, which is kind of a big core feature of the game in the first place. So for those of you that don't know, MultiVersus is like a Smash Brothers, Smash Brothers like fighting game that's also a freemium game. And of course, freemium means that the game is free, and there are a lot of trade-offs that come with a free model versus having a full game like Smash Brothers that's, $60 plus, however much the DLC costs. I think it's like an additional 25 or so. So you're paying about $85 or $90 for Smash Brothers, but once you pay for that game, you get to play every character in the game. You get every stage in the game. Once your money is put down on Smash Bros, it's done. The game doesn't ever bug you for more like skin money or anything like that. No premium currency money. The game is just what it is on the Nintendo Switch. However, if you're going to dip your toes into the freemium world, you're gonna have to realistically expect to, have a premium currency that allows you to whip out your credit card and do little things like buy skins, kind of like Fortnite. That's made cosmetics in multiplayer games like just a huge thing in the gaming industry at the moment. And also you could use in MultiVersus, you could use what's called the Gleamium currency. That's also very important for obtaining new characters. You can obtain new characters with the free gym currency or whatever, but they make it take as long as freaking possible to do so. I will admit, last year I was pretty invested in this game, and I dumped about 99 hours into it total, and I have also paid a decent amount of change on stuff like characters. I bought a few skins, admittedly. I had to have the beach skin for Wonder Woman, which I thought was really cool because Wonder Woman was my main in MultiVersus. And yeah, I don't know how much money I spent, maybe 60 or 80 bucks. I'm not super proud of that, but I wanted to be able to play MultiVersus with a almost complete roster. Like if you wanted a complete roster and you were willing to whip out your credit card and do whatever it took to get a full character roster MultiVersus, I'd have to look it up, but you'd be spending upwards of $200, $300 just to get a full roster. And once you do get a full roster in MultiVersus, there is no guarantee that Warner Brothers or Player First Games isn't going to just drop another season, which they were planning on, assuming that this game was going to have a success in the future, they were planning on just dropping more and more characters, which means you'd be whipping out your credit card more and more and more. So even if you ever did reach the state of a complete roster, they always had the opportunity to just ask you for more money. So, I did manage to get a 70% roster or whatever, but so I feel like I got my fill of that game. However, I never liked this freemium model. I don't know. I am not a business guy, so I don't know how you would design a freemium Smash-like clone and do it better. I'm not a game designer either, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't have done it exactly the way that they did it. But yeah, I think I think Warner Brothers was especially greedy with this title. I mean, I could give one example of obvious, complete, in-your-face greed when it comes to this game, and that's not even including all the expensive character stuff that I had previously mentioned. Like, if you were playing the single-player mode, that's called Rift mode or whatever, there were like various missions that throughout the game that were considered quote-unquote optional, but they were like strongly suggested that you had to do these missions so you could get more of the gym currency or whatever. There were a few optional missions in the single player mode that you absolutely could not finish unless you had a premium cosmetic. Like, I could think in the Rift Chapter 1, I believe, had a mission that required you to have like a shitty like Joker t-shirt for your character. Like, it was just a t-shirt with like the Joker's face on it, and it didn't even look that good. But you had to whip out premium currency points, put that shirt on your character, and then you could do the mission that was quote unquote optional, but they made the incentives like to where, like, yeah, it was optional, but you were missing out on like a bunch of currency if you didn't like do all these missions, that some of which were paywalled behind premium currency, and that's just super not cool. Like, I should be able to play your single player mode and not have like a thing nagging me to whip out my credit card, even though it's not explicitly saying that. That's basically what it's telling the player, and that's just super not cool. Yeah, there are a few other things that peeved people with this game. Like, I know some people didn't like the gameplay. They said it's too slow or whatever, but I actually like the pace of the game. I actually like the gameplay of MultiVersus, and that's part of why this game was such a love-hate thing for me. Like, I think MultiVersus is a solid game. Yeah, it's got flaws. I'm not saying it's perfect, but like, the gameplay itself was just fun, and it was fun, and it was also accompanied by like Warner Brothers telling me to whip out my credit card every fucking 5 seconds, like, that you're not playing. Like, every 5 seconds that you're not in the middle of a match, they have a reason for you to whip out your credit card. They have advertisements for skins on the front page all the time that require credit card money. They, you know, have events, battle passes that also is, you know, absolute requirement to whip out your credit card for. And yeah, that game was honestly like stressful for me to play because, yeah, I enjoyed playing the game itself, but I think there's something to be said about FOMO and, you know, having a game where, like, yeah, like, you don't have to buy this stuff, but like, if it's like in your face all the time, it really takes away from the experience of what is supposed to be just like a game that you're supposed to wind down and enjoy. Like, I'm not against live service games. I'm not against like all DLC or microtransactions or whatever, because I think that could be done in a smart way, but this is not it. Yeah, I honestly just wanted to say up yours, Warner Brothers, and you know, I feel bad for anyone that liked MultiVersus and thought that it had potential like I did, but still, up yours, Warner Brothers, and that's all I've got to say, really. Anyways, peace.